Hello, loves, and welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a returning guest. I am Saida, and this week I am here again one more time. I am. It's been a struggle, just because I have a lot going on, as I've mentioned before, but I'm also working on some stuff, trying to get some stuff that God has told me to do, and my creative juices are flowing. So I'm kind of stretched because I'm like, I really want to keep working on the project that I was working on, but I'm like, okay, I have to do this video because I know the week is going by and I'm trying to be consistent, because that is one thing that I talked about, is being consistent. Consistency is the key. And even whenever you don't feel like it's doing anything, uh then that's whenever I go back to obedience. Obedience is better than sacrifice. And definitely, I've done videos on both of those. If you haven't, if this is your first time to my channel, I will link those below. But yeah, so one thing is, it is kind of difficult because it's like, are people listening? Like, Lord, I'm, doing the videos, I'm taking the time, I'm putting in the effort and everything. And I'm like, I don't know if anybody's listening. I don't know if anybody cares. I don't know if anybody even likes the content. Nobody's pushing the like button. Nobody's really, watching. So I'm trying not to, like, I'm not really necessarily worried about views. Like, I do, if it touches, one person, like, even if it's just like, it just really encourages one person or two people or something, like, that's great. But it would be nice to hear that, like, in the comments, or even just push the like button. Because I have been trying to take my time and edit, and uh I like to put the pictures and stuff in there, and I feel like it kind of gives a better idea of what was actually happening. And, like, I'm a visual person, so when I see pictures, I'm like, oh yeah, like, that's cool. And so, but I'm like, I don't know, does anybody like it? Like, if they don't, then I'm not gonna continue to take the time to find all those pictures and put them in there. So if y'all happen to like the pictures or the scriptures or anything like that, please put that over in the comments. Just put a heart, put love the pictures, like the picture, whatever, something that, so that I can know that it's worth the time and effort of putting that in. I probably won't do too much on this video, because this video, I'm gonna try to make it short. I'm sorry, I'm trying to work on being more concise and to the point. It like I said, it's kind of difficult to do something like this where I can't prepare for it, and I kind of have to just lean on the Holy Spirit and just do or say whatever is being spoken to me. And I don't know if you've ever, like, been in that type of situation, but for me, I've been in it in a different way. And so for me to come on here and then, like, put it out for the public to see, it's like, it's it can be kind of challenging. But anyway, so with that being said, the what I want to talk about today is just, I think what has been ringing in everything that I have listened to, and from every pastor or every sermon or every person, even podcast or just different things like that I listen to throughout the week. I listen to different podcasts, and I listen to different sermons, and I have, like, certain ministers that I follow. And one of the things that has been consistent throughout the majority of everyone that I've listened to this past week or so has been focus. And I'm like, man, it's hard to focus. I've been trying so hard to focus on staying consistent and focus on trying to make sure I do this for work, and trying to make sure I do this for this, and I do this for that, and make sure that in all these different areas, I'm trying to, like, be consistent. But it's like, my focus, it's like so many distractions. That was another thing they talked about. Like, not allowing the distractions to come in and distract you from what your God given purpose is. And the distractions have been coming from everywhere because it's like, like if I'm, trying to do this video, then usually I'm rushing. Like right now, I'm in, if you could see what is going on, it's a lot. I have a lot. It's stuff everywhere. I'm in the middle of my creativity juices are flowing, and I'm just kind of just in the laboratory, just producing some stuff. And I'm grateful for God allowing me and giving me the vision and helping me to carry it out. But it's hard to like stay focused on doing that because I'm like, oh, I have to do this and I have to go to work and I have to do that and I have to do that. And so basically um yeah, it's just like that has been, I guess I've been listening to stuff about focus and distractions because I feel like I've been distracted and it's been hard to focus on what it is that I need to focus on, even if you don't necessarily have a relationship where you hear from God and you know God enough to where you can like hear his voice or you can hear when he tells you different things. Like he doesn't always just like speak and say, go and do this and go and do that. But there's different ways that God talks to us. And like as you grow and, gain relationship with him, then you'll figure out what those ways are for you. And for me, it's a lot of different ways. And so but it also took time of like building up that rapport and that relationship with the Lord. But yeah, and so yeah, see, I'm already getting off focus right now on what I'm talking about, which is focus. But yeah, so it's just been, it seems like when I try to zone in and focus on something, like when you make up your mind and you're like, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna do that or I'm gonna stop doing this. Like let's say I'm gonna stop drinking. Then as soon as you decide I'm gonna stop drinking, you really make up your mind you're gonna stop drinking. What happens? Somebody asks you to somewhere and then they're like, oh, you have a drink with me, or you end up going to a gathering or a party or whatever, and or it ends up being a holiday or just something where there's drinks everywhere and then you get free drinks that are around you. And then like the same thing with like, oh, I'm not gonna eat I'm gonna go on a diet. I never like the word diet because I feel like as soon as I say that word, it's like everything in it. It's just like cupcakes and cookies and everything just pop up everywhere. And I'm like, I refuse to say that I'm on a diet. But for people who do like say, oh, I'm on a diet, and it's just like soon as you say that, everything tries to get you distracted from your diet. It's like, oh, dang, now the office is giving out free food, free cookies and cupcakes and pies and all this other stuff. And then you go over to your friend's house and then they didn't cooked all this stuff that you want to eat. And then you want a candy bar in the middle of the night. It's just all these different things that try to distract us. And so it really is just like, how do you come back to where you were and like focus and move forward for where you are? And so that's what I've been really trying to zone in on this week, is just like, okay, I was doing this. Now, God, I didn't forgot what I was doing. Like, and that come with old age, right? Too. And then, it's a lot of different reasons. But yeah, and so it's like I just don't have the the focus on, like, I'm at the time when I'm supposed to be focusing. See, like I'm right now, well, before I got on this video and then after, I'll be working on the project that I was working on. Um, and it's for my business. If y'all stay tuned, I'm gonna post my social for my Instagram and stuff underneath the video. And if y'all could follow, I'm going to start posting some of the stuff that I've been working on. I have been given some really creative visions, and it's just been really like when I see it come out, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, it's so cute. But anyway, yeah, sorry. Focus, right? Okay, anyway. So how do you like come back to like focus on what it is that you are working on, right? And so that's what I've been having to do, is just like kind of stop and be like, okay, I'm doing this. I notice that I have to like, it helps me when I write it down and I'll write down like, okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this because like for me, sometimes I'll say it and then I have so much going on in my mind, or how you go in the store, or something, you get distracted or something, and so I'll write it down. I'll say, okay, I'm gonna do this, this, and this, and then that way, if I get too far focused, I can be like, okay, let me come back and look at my list. Okay, what did I not do today? Like I have a lot of things on my actual list that I wanted to get done today. And I really didn't get that much done, but I'm okay because I did go to the store to get some more products that I needed. And I have been working on trying to get my stuff done because I do have a deadline and I have a goal that I'm trying to meet. And so that's another thing is just like coming up with a deadline of like when you want to have this stuff done. Like everything doesn't have to always be done right then and there, but like, okay, when do I want to have this done and what do I want to um just like setting an actual deadline and actually following it, because it's like sometimes I'll set a deadline. I'm like, oh, I want to have this done by Thursday, and then it's just like Thursday coming. I'm like, well, it's okay. No, I want to actually set this deadline. I said I want to have it done by Thursday, and this is what I want to have done by Thursday. And so with my business, what I've been doing is just like, okay, I want to make a certain number of items a day, and I do handcrafted items like that are like inspirational, faith-based handcrafted items. And so I'm like, I want to have a certain amount of items that are done each day, and it doesn't matter what they are or what I decide to do. I just need to make this many each day. And so I actually just wrote that number down, and so I've been trying to follow that and meet that goal each and every day. And if you don't make it, it's not always like you have to beat yourself up. Like my goal is like 40 a day, but I have other things going on in my life too. And so 40 a day is kind of difficult, and it's like smaller items that I'm making right now. So of course 40 a day is not as it's a little bit easier to make 40 a day, but for some things, you can't always meet that goal. Sometimes we might set the goal a little too high. But like I did the first day I didn't, set the goal at all. And then the next day I was like, you know what? How many if I do this many, then like I got all this and that. And then I tend to like when the creative juice start flowing, it goes into a whole nother like Pandora's box just opens, and then, it's just everywhere. It's yeah. But anyway, so yeah, just I think it's good to take the practical steps and to be happy with like progress, but like don't beat yourself up if you don't always make it. Like today, if I can't do 40, then how many did I do? Did I at least do half of that? You know what I'm saying? And then bringing it back to like focus. Okay, after I have tried to meet my goal, I'm also, like I said, writing down like other things that I need to get done for this time. Because for me, especially like with the type of job I have, I'm a flight attendant, I'm gone all the time. And so it really kind of makes it difficult when you're gone a lot. And it's like, when you're trying to make, appointments, when you're trying to go and, take care of things at home, when you're trying to, just do all these different things, it can become very difficult to stay consistent with that, and then also to have like a routine. I don't really have routine. I kind of just go with the flow and go with the day. And so that's why for me, I have to kind of just like start taking inventory of like, okay, what did you do with this time? What do you plan to do with your time tomorrow? And and then like if I get off focus and I completely forget and I'm totally somewhere way off track doing something that I'm totally not supposed to be doing, okay, let me go back and check my list, and then now I'm like making a check mark. Cause then when you make a check mark, it's like, oh, okay, I feel like I accomplished something. I had 10 things on my list. I only checked off 6, but at least I checked off some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I've been pretty much doing. So I want to encourage you to like take those action steps to just try to figure out like how can you keep your focus. And sometimes I also have to just go to the Lord and be like, Lord, I am like all over the place. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to focus on. Like I am trying to focus on this. And one thing that gets me when I try to go to sleep, it'd be like, 2, 3 in the morning, whatever time I decided I'm done with whatever I'm doing. Right now, this week I've been working on my stuff for my business, but my little crafting and stuff. But when I'm not even working on that or whatever, when I decide, okay, I'm tired and I want to go to sleep, how come now all of a sudden I got all the focus in the world on everything besides sleep? And I was like, Lord, like, I just want to go to sleep. Can you please just help me go to sleep? And so that's actually, especially when I get into like creative mode. I don't know if anybody else like who's a creative like has this happen to them, but like when I get into creative mode, it's like my mind, it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. And then I have this idea and that idea, and I'm like, oh, I gotta do that, I gotta do that, this. And then it's like it just goes and goes and goes. And like even when I'm trying to sleep, I will be dreaming about being creative and doing whatever I'm, working on. And so, and I've always been like that ever since I was a child, and I didn't really understand that or recognize that. And so, like, lately, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, girl, it is 5 in the morning. I am tired. I just want to go to sleep. I will think about that tomorrow when I wake up. Please just let me, or it'll be the same day because it's 5 a.m. But let me go to sleep, please. And so I have to just like pray and be like, Lord, please help me to calm my mind so that I can be able to focus on what I need to focus on, which is rest. God called us to rest. We are supposed to rest, not just sleeping at night, but we're supposed to take a Sabbath day every month, every week. We're supposed to have a Sabbath day, and it's a day of rest. God rested after he, did whatever he was doing. And so the work that he was doing in the earth, he rested, and he wants us to rest. And I'm like, Lord, I just want to rest. Like, please help me to calm my mind so that I can just rest. But anyway, so that's something that I've been doing, is just praying and being like, Lord, please help me to um calm my mind and calm my thoughts and my dreams so that I can be able to rest and I can be effective when I do get up and try to start back working on whatever it is I'm working on, whether that be my projects or whether that be work or whether that be church or whether that be just interacting with other people. Because, when you don't get enough rest, then you're tired and moody. Well, for me, I get a little tired and moody and stuff sometimes when I don't get enough rest and stuff. And so it's just like, Lord, help me to calm down and focus on what it is you want me to focus on in this moment. And so basically, yeah, that's really what I was thinking, like, okay, what can I speak about today? And it's so many different things that I have lined up to speak about, but it's like I have not gotten to that moment where I'm actually able to like dive into that stuff, because the stuff that I'm I believe I'm gearing up to kind of talk about, it's not just like for me to get on here and just like, hey, weekly check-in, hey, just come on and just listen to me talk. Like, no, there's serious, deep, personal things that God wants me to talk about. And it will I will start to share that kind of stuff once I get to a level of where I feel like right now God is just helping me to like get comfortable with being on camera and talking and being consistent with following through and doing it every week and being obedient with what he told me to do, which is to follow through and do this every week, no matter if it's one person watching or none. But y'all, please watch and please like and please comment and please subscribe. And you know, I hope I hope somebody is getting something from this, because I'm like, Lord, what am I doing? Anyway, I digress. So yeah, just you know, my focus is already getting off now because I feel like I've been on here for a little too long. And then I'm looking at all the stuff that I'm like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to. So I am gonna go ahead and get off of this video. But yeah, just take some practical steps on what if you're having trouble focusing like me, or just in general, the world is so many distractions in the world right now. Like literally, you can be trying to do whatever and you happen to see something pop up on your phone. I don't know how many times I went in my phone to do something that I had to do, and then I get on the phone and I completely forgot within a split second, then forgot what I came on here for, because now it's a distraction that didn't pop up on my phone that has absolutely nothing to do with what I went on there for. And that's why I don't get on social media and stuff like that. Like I post sometimes, but I rarely get on there because it's too many distractions. I can't keep up. But anyway, so just definitely, I hope that I feel like I know that other people are having issues with focus and distractions, because every single thing that I have listened to this week has been about focus and distractions. And they're talking to large crowds of people. I'm talking to, maybe the few people that click on this video. But I know that the enemy wants to keep us distracted from what God is calling us to do. And so we have to be strategic. The enemy is strategic in every way. And so we have to be strategic on what we are doing to maintain our focus and not be distracted by the things that the enemy is sending, and then just things that we want to do, and just things like that. And just stay focused on like what is God telling you to do, and like what is moving you in the way of progression, and what is going to help in the long run. Because like we can think like, oh, now, like, oh, it's okay, I'll just go ahead and watch this series, and I'll just tune out for a couple days and watch this. And it's like, okay, but now what have you pushed back, because of the fact that you decided not to um focus on what it was that you were needing to focus on. And then, a big thing, like I said, is just prayer. And like I have to just pray and be like, Lord, help me to focus, help me to figure out a plan to stay on track. And then help me when the enemy starts throwing those distractions and those darts and stuff my way, help me to be able to like, you know, flee from that and like stay focused on you and stay focused on what you're telling me to do. Because like even, I've said this multiple times before in my other videos, but it's like it's really hard to for me like to step out and do something like this. It's not hard, but it's challenging because I'm a private person for one, and then for two, I'm not really a big, like I said, I rarely get on social media. I'll post sometimes, but I don't really like to just be on camera and just like share my life and all that. And I'm trying to work on that, and that's something that God has been working on me with, is like just helping me to open up and start being more vocal and sharing about certain things that happen like in my life, or that is happening within my life. And that's why I'm talking about this particular thing, because this is what's happening. Is like I'm having trouble focusing. And so, anyway, yeah, just, try to take some practical steps. Pray about it whenever you are having trouble, ask God to help to focus your focus and help you redirect your focus to what it is that you were trying to focus on. Try to write it down before time. Like, okay, I want to get this done today. Make goals, make deadlines for those goals, and just take it day by day and take it step by step. And, don't beat yourself up if you don't get every single thing done in that day. But like also, you know, be also depend on the Lord to help you in those moments when you feel like you're overwhelmed or like you have way too much, because you don't want to like burn yourself out. You don't want to overwhelm yourself. So, and then just try to focus on like prioritize like what's most important right now. And then like if you can focus, if you have like, 10 things on your list, if you can at least focus on 5 of them. That's half. You know what I'm saying? And like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get that done. And so, yeah, I just encourage you to focus and don't let the distractions distract you. And yeah, and comment, like, and subscribe. And thanks for tuning in. And I'm sorry, I'm like all over the place because I'm just like, I just want to get back to my craft. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get back to that. So thank you for tuning in. I try to make this video shorter. I'm trying to, make them shorter and trying to make it more interesting. So, if you could like and comment, subscribe, that would be really, really appreciated. And yeah, so try to focus. Just try to stay focused this week. All right. Thanks for tuning in. Bye, loves.